not 24 paraganas. Mind you, there are certain very disturbing reports we have been getting, and we have also reported through the day, just not in Nandigram, where polling agents, counting agents, also BJP workers have been allegedly targeted by Trinamool Congress. But in Beleghat specifically, we are getting very disturbing reports of death of an individual that BJP has claimed to one of their own. BJP is alleging that a BJP worker has been killed in post-poll violence. We have seen on social media Babul Supriyo even sharing videos suggesting in Asansol there had been rampant vandalism of houses that allegedly belong to BJP workers, and Babul Supriyo has even taken a jibe and called it, if this is a victory procession and victory rally of Trinamool Congress, even though Mamata Banerjee has asked, because of COVID, do not take out anything, do not take out any procession. So on the part of the government or on the part of Trinamool Congress, Mamata Banerjee was directly asked this question when she was holding the press conference today, as what about violence? She did say that people should maintain restraint, people should not do anything which is not advisable, people should not become violent, people should not become aggressive. But when asked about specific incidents, she said there are also reports that BJP leaders are sharing concocted videos, fake videos, and trying to create a narrative. Even she is alleging that in Bardhaman, a Trinamool Congress worker has been killed. She is alleging in Cooch Behar, even after BJP sweeping maximum seats, Trinamool Congress workers are being targeted. So overall, the violence which we had seen during the election, the violence which we had seen during the run-up to election, unfortunately, it still continues after the elections. After the election results are out and after the results are made it very clear that Trinamool Congress is forming the government for the third consecutive time. Now, what you can confirm, MHA has sought a report. Why? Because MHA has also received a briefing from the governor. Mind you, the governor had summoned the state DGP, the state chief secretary, and specifically he wanted to understand what's going on the ground, because BJP has sent a delegation and they had called upon the governor. BJP had alleged that on the ground, Trinamool Congress workers, after being victorious, in a sign of arrogance, in a sign of aggressiveness, they have unleashed terror on the ground level BJP cadres. So BJP had approached the governor. Governor had thereafter forwarded that to the MHA. MHA has now sought a report from the state chief secretary. Minded, at this point in time, model code of conduct is still effective. Whether it would be withdrawn after Mamata Banerjee meets the governor and claims to form government, we have to wait and see. But as we speak now, Padmaja, the MCC, the model code of conduct, is still in place. Not to discount the fact that Election Commission, sensing there could be post-poll violence, has also allowed retainment of no less than 100 companies of Central Forces. Central Forces had been matter of quote-unquote bone of contention and had almost remained so during the entire election process. And Trinamool Congress Supremo Mamata Banerjee demanded their withdrawal in order to contain and control the COVID situation better. But now, because of the ensuing trouble on the ground, we have seen that the Election Commission has decided to retain 100 companies of Central Forces in order to maintain law and order situation. But of course, albeit the state police will be the authority to report and react to the law and order situation as and when required. They can use the strength of the Central Forces as an additional strength to contain the situation. So on the ground, there had been a couple of incidents, not sporadic in nature, I would say, and there are a couple of incidents which BJP alleges to be a premeditated attempt to, in a way, terrorize and also inflict injury upon the BJP workers, because Trinamool Congress had come back and Trinamool Congress has dismissed all these allegations. It's equally important to mention that Trinamool Congress has dismissed all those allegations, but BJP is saying, BJP is crying that the state has to ensure that there is no violence. It's equally important to say that Mamata Banerjee has appealed for peace. A couple of other Trinamool Congress leaders have appealed for peace. But on the ground, we are getting some very ugly reports, both from the side of Trinamool Congress.
You have not just allegations, but there are images of violence, and like you said, one person is dead. Then who really is behind it? It's a case of he said, she said. What really is happening? Who was behind the attack on Shubhendu Adhikari's cavalcade? It did happen.
Well, Padmaja, and I can say this with all responsibility because we were all covering elections on the ground. We made a lot of contacts. We have given our numbers. Just a short while back, I did receive some frantic calls from somebody in distress, and that too from Tangra area, where they said they have been literally hounded by a group of people who are allegedly from the ruling Trinamool Congress, and they are feeling extremely intimidated. So all they wanted to do is someone to inform that to the police. Why I'm saying this? As soon as that information was passed on the police did send force to contain the situation. But the point is, when a situation like this breaks out, is it being reported on real-time basis to police? And if yes, are police responding to the situation on a real-time basis, and how soon they are doing? Because as soon as they do it, the situation can be contained. To respond to your question, who is behind the murder, I cannot confirm that, but BJP is alleging a Trinamool Congress hand behind it. BJP has released certain videos, and they are saying these videos are all real videos of Beleghata on the day of counting, that is yesterday. There had been one particular house which is identified as a BJP workers' house, which also had all posters and banners of BJP, and it had a bike parked right outside. The bike was set ablaze, and near to that area, one individual lost his life that BJP now alleges in forceful violence. So unless police intervenes and investigates the matter, the real culprit will not be really out. But at this point, it's tune ye kya, maine ye kya, tu main is going on. The political blame game is going on, unfortunately. But on the ground, those who are suffering, they are still suffering. That's the saddest part.
And it's not just tutu meme that it's limited to, because this political bickering is fine. But the thing is that there is actual physical violence on the ground, and like you're reporting, Tamal, a life has been lost, or at least that is the allegation that is being leveled. Can you give us the details of who is this person who the BJP is saying is a Karyakarta? What is their allegation? Who do they claim is behind his death, and under what circumstances?
So yes, of course, I would try and give you the details. One second. So basically, BJP is saying that for the past couple of days, in the run-up to the last phase of election, which happened in Beleghata, there was trouble. Now, Beleghata is known to be traditionally quite restive, and on the election day, there had been one or two incidents of unfortunate incidents of violence. Now, there had been chase and counter chase, and police had maintained the situation, the law and order situation. But as soon as the elections got over, we got to hear that there had been a couple of houses which have been set ablaze. A bike was set ablaze. At the same time, you also saw as how one individual's picture was then released by BJP, as BJP alleged that that man has been killed, and the man has been killed, and they are alleging that there is a Trinamool Congress hand behind it. So yes, I'm trying to find out the exact name of the individual. Also would try and show his picture, because BJP did share the picture of that very individual. So BJP is alleging that this individual was engaged in poll-related works of BJP, and that he was quite active, a BJP worker. In fact, BJP is also alleging